I'll see you in the next one. Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble. Ground forms up under his feet as if pointing away. He don't stop to wonder why. Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion. He sees what's left of the rippling walls, years of work undone in an instant, in the calamity. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Kid just rages for a while. An old repeater falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do. Gotta hold her still to spin up the chamber. Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink. A school of squirts tunnels up around him. Must have fled here from the mines. Kid finds a memento from a girl he knew. Always used to fancy her. It's a wonder the old saloon's still standing. Used to have the nicest view. And then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling. He sets foot inside one of Zealandia's famous watering holes. Wait, haven't I? Anyway, Rondi's place just brings back memories. Then Kid finds his trusty shield. The security takes him for a petty thief. Shield saves his hide. Windbags start turning up the last call. More squirts start coming out of the woodwork. A big old fella pops out in front of the kid. Kid sees the way to the Bastion out the window. It's a bit of a drop. Rondi always wanted his ashes scattered here. He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke. The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest men in the land. Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid. Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome. He's a mighty fast learner. Right back at you. He finds the distillery, right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town. One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man. The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job. squirts birthing like crazy in a couple of corn bins. That one was Maud, the tutor. Once taught the kid good manners. He never used them, though. An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now. Takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did. Robs a scumbag of his last meal. Kid puts him out of his misery. Finds the core to the wharf district. He steals the city's heart. Might as well. Kid has a feeling he better get a move on. The place is starting to fall. See, that core kid took was the only thing making this particular run stay afloat. Kid just keeps running. Somersaulting like crazy. At last, the skyway's in sight. Whisks him where he needs to go. Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell. There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest, enough to point the way to the cores. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch. I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, all right, except no one else showed up. Some things just ain't meant for this world, but who are we to judge? Ain't always much to say. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again, growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown. Kid ponders what to build. A lot of things need fixing up in this world, and we can start right here. Looks like our little science project is all set. And that's everything. Mother knows he's paid his dues in that forge. Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him. The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands. Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong. Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? The white gas fellas all dress alike. Kids wondering the same thing. He heads for the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge. He heads for the biggest dump in town, Scumbag Alley. Some scumbag still feeding off the city's own trash. And there he is, the oldest scumbag of them all, Gershel. They always said old Gershel wouldn't go without a fight. The rest of the path is gone for good, and his city crest won't bring it back. No core, no surprise. Like the gas fellas are hiding it from him. There it is, but it's locked down tight in an alloy cage. A blustery old foreman's keeping his fellas in check, almost like he's showboating for the crowd. And now there's a new marshal in town. Somehow that old forge is still standing. Inside the forge, he can fine-tune those instruments of his. Odd place to find the likes of Percy the Snitch. Never much cared for that big wide grin of his. He heads for the squirt steps. Won't be no field trip this time. Kid ain't ever seen an elephant squirt before. They say even the most rambunctious squirts can be tamed. Them squirts just don't know when to quit. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to follow. Kid's ready to go, and his ticket out's right where he started. He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack, the monument's calling for it. The windbags used to be alright, then the calamity took the floor out from under him. The calamity saved some of my old books. Guess it's got a sense of humor. Never would have pegged the kid as the bookish type. You don't get to be my age without learning a thing or two about what's what. But the most valuable lessons come early in life. I ain't much for worldly things, though all these years I've held on to a stash of old books from when I was young. There's one old book in particular I still like to read from time to time. It covers the important things, in a manner of speaking. Here we go. A is for Kobe, the goddess of oath and abandon. Make a promise, and the chasing maid will hold you to it. B is for Breaker. He's faster than a fork of lightning, and his aim is always true. If news needs spreading, tell it to a breaker. C is for core, a perfect bit of stone found deep underground. It makes the city shine day and night. Is there anything it can't do? D is for Dread Rum, a potent spirit brewed from a foul-smelling plant that grows in the wilds. One taste will sharpen your senses. Evacuation. In an emergency, stay calm, leave your belongings, and make your way to the nearest safe haven. F is for foundation. A solid plot of land for building anything you can imagine. Even grand ideas start small. G is for Garmouth, the god of purpose and folly. The crippled Duke reminds us that good intentions are nothing on their own. H is for Hensa, goddess of pain and pleasure. You can't have one without the other. The veiled widow makes sure of it. I is for In Case of Trouble, a song grown famous across the land, dedicated to the pioneering spirit of Ceylondia. J is for Javel, the god of health and atrophy. We each have the Tower Keeper's strength in us, until that strength runs out. K is for Kid, a guy or gal just like you. Don't be in such a hurry to grow up, since there's nothing a kid can't do. L is for Lemaine, the god of hope and despair. The Mason King knows that success and failure are all in the mind. M is for Messiah, our goddess of loss and longing. We all are born from the Lorn Mother, and in the end, we all return to her. N is for Nordy, the bird boy, who's always there to bring a smile at the Hanging Gardens, thanks to his feathered friends. O is for Alec, our our young god a chance and whim. The carefree son lives forever in the moment. The rest of us can only try. P is for Pith, the god of commotion and order. When the wakeful bull is calm, let's all do our part to keep him that way. For Queen Anne, the notorious ankle gator from the wilds. She can even dig her way into rotten children's dreams. R is for Rothus, the god of thirst and plenty. The gorging host reminds us to always know when we've had enough. S is for Scumbag, a big lumpy old fellow who sidles about. He loves eating trash. Just be sure to keep a healthy distance from him. T is for Trigger, the army's sharpest shooter. Take pride in Caelandia's mounted soldiers. They risk it all to keep us safe. U is for Ura, our pale neighbors to the east, whose homes are underground. Each day we learn to live in harmony. V is for Vigil, an act in remembrance. The sacrifices of our forefathers gave us a new beginning here in Caelandia. W is for Weepin' Nelly, the Langston River's fastest little ferry barge. We couldn't have crossed that river without her help. X is for nothing. Stranger's letter in the mix. Yet even the stranger's letter has its use, as you couldn't have a mailbox without one. Y is for you, Drake. The god of impulse and bravery. Each time the morning stallion stamps his hoof, somebody out there makes up his mind. Z is for Zolwood, a tough old plant whose gourds make great target practice. Whatever you do, don't eat them. The end. There's nothing after Z. Used to be one more page in here, though, before somebody tore it out. Know what it said? Still with me? The last page of this book was about the author. Didn't say much, but the imagination has a way of filling in the gaps. Everybody starts small, then some of us work our way up, I suppose. Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next. The memorial. Here a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction. Just another one of my sketches. Nothing more. Picked up traces of other cores while the kid was out. In better days, the melting pot was sealed tighter than the skin on a squirt. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stabweeds. Blasted things hurt like a broken heart. cuts down every stab weed like there's gonna be a prize for it. If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. Core's stuck inside one of those fancy cages. No breaking a cage like that, but the kid tries anyway. Gotta find a way to spring it open. Some of the stuff lying around is downright dangerous. He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every squire's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Heard it pop that mean old foreman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30, hard to tell. Squirrels get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. One thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy. Troublesome scene, to be sure. It ain't all bad, as the kid finds some spices from the motherland, tax-free. A few moments left, and the core goes free. 10, 9, 8, 7, give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge. I still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished. finished, but the new world's just getting started. Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Celandia. It was good living here for a while. The Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to. Fill them with needles or blast them to bits. Tough call. Couples used to walk the sundown path. Kid ain't here for pleasure, though. But then, somebody gets to the core before the kid. The floor starts giving way on the lightest step. A single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. Fragments of the old world rain in the sky. Stray valuables are lying everywhere. Security's all fired up. See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling and such. Not so much for the noise and tomfoolery. The sky bridges link the paths together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. Finds a spyglass, like the ones they'd used to search the stars. Air travel always was an iffy proposition. Quick and careful is the only way to go. The calamity changed everything. Even where the wind blows. Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we could do it again. But the question is, who else could have taken the core? Well, ain't no survivor stolen thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake. Tough break. Unlike the kid, that core ain't coming back. No, they used to ship live munitions down the path. find time to find him. It's wise to toss those things plenty far away. Gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky when you wake them up. In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity? So he didn't find the core that time, but that ain't about to stop us. We could always see the stars, we just never could reach them, no matter how high we built. The dead ain't gotta worry about this mess. The calamity took everybody after all. Kid sees it plain, with frozen faces all around. These folks never saw the calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close. Someone who ain't like Mr. Beckley and his kindly wife. Someone like him. Something so familiar about that man. It's a snag or two trying to get to him. He ain't about to stop, no matter what. He's got so many questions after all. Just ain't got time for answers. The Thunder brothers didn't make it. Nordy, the bird boy, didn't make it. The Jawsons, they didn't make it. Grady Sr., Grady Jr., they didn't make it. But him, he survived. Kid finds proof enough that man ain't from around here. Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? Kid does what he has to do. And then, what do you say to a man who's seen too much? Kid hasn't a clue. but he says this. We have to go. Please. He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zolf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time. We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now. For Zolf, Caelondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too. Far to the east. We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine. Zolf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says. He was born in the Tazzle terminals. The Ura sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since. You show me whoever made this, Zolf says, and I'll show you a scientific genius. They remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be alright. Well, look what we have here. Leachade's so sour it'll perk you right up when you're feeling low. Can't be too careful these days. We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city. The gods, they're all undone. Pith Orchard. Place is a dead end in more ways than one. Folks used to make pilgrimage here to pay their respects to Pith, the bull. Well, the gods are long gone now, and the orchard core is long gone too. Seems Pith ain't much of a watchdog. Pith stood for something once. Something real. In time, though, the bull stopped being a symbol and started being decoration. He couldn't even save his loyal subjects. Pith makes a decent scarecrow, at least. Then Pith lights up like a rodeo. Must have been guarding that shrine. So what'll it be? Invoke the gods? Or tell them off? Hensa. Pith. Udrig. Lemaine. Kid decides to press his luck. Well, if the gods are alive, they must be plenty sore. Kid ain't never seen windbags that quick. Maybe old Pith put a scare in him. Passes Pith's trial, and he's richer for it. The gods don't care about trinkets, but the kid ain't no god. Kid ain't found a core, at least he found Zolf's precious shrine. The gods ain't gonna catch him if you fall. Zolf doesn't touch the thing. Says the god of commotion is no children's toy. The Ura feared the gods. We turned them into toys, put their faces on our walls. There's only one way to Cinderbread Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. The calamity was mercy for normal folks. The windbags ain't so lucky. They've been left to freeze or starve or face the kid. Well, windbags young and old keep fighting for the fort. At least the marshals left the kid a parting gift. Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All that wants a warm place to stay and a decent meal. The calamity drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort. Could have been minding the business underground like in the old days. Windbags can't use martial supplies, but the kid sure can. As for the windbags, Cinder Brick gave them enough heat and metal to munch on for a while, so the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame them for wanting it, though. So many of those sorry things hold up inside that old fort. Got a squirt lure at the ready in case things turn sour. Security plane gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. Ain't afraid to get burned. They trapped the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds. The uncles go out with a whimper. Then they bring out Glutus and Clandon and all their scumbag eagles. They got something to gain, and only their sorry hides to lose. The windbags finally get the message. Kid used to dream of getting a marshal's badge, but not like this. The Skyways a welcome sight after all that. And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinder Brick Fort. Kid shows up just as Zulf's telling me about his own journey to the city. Seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zulf was his smoking pipe. Poor kid collapses after just one drag. The past. Only good thing ever come out of the past is history. Hardly had a moment's rest since all this started. Fair to say he's led a hard life, supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie. Never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his. Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there. School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money. Thanks to folks like the kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there. The elements, the Ura, you name it. Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too. The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found either. So what'd the kid do? Why, he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years. In the history of Ceylondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls. Out there, kid learned to fend for himself, learn to build, learn to break. In time, the kid earned good standing with the marshals. They trusted him to scout out farther than anybody. One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered, cracked, and split apart. He saw nothing where the world used to be. The calamity happened just like that. All the kid had to work with was his hammer and the clothes on his back. Through twisted streets, he ran with nothing but the city crest and an old stranger's voice to guide him. Well, he finally arrived at Caelondia's vaunted safe haven. He and no one else. But then, all he got was more thankless work from a man who ain't even asked his name. Sure, I may be the one who dreamt up the walls and the Bastion, but the kid made them real, not me. I'd like to say I'll never forget him, or what he's doing, what he's done. I surely would. Zolf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this. The marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity. Zolf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Even since the Ura surrendered to us, the marshals kept a wary eye on him. Behold the Pantheon. The Langston River flowed free and wild till the calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off. Riverbanks swarming with windbags. They're so bent on finding the core, they hardly notice the kid. Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat. Weeping Nellie. She sent some squirts crying home as she leaves port. Maybe Nellie knows the way to the core. Maybe she can slip right past all the clamor on the coast. Or maybe not. A security skiff pulls up portside. Nellie's just another windbag to those guns. Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with. They try to cut her off. They try to slow her down. They try to knock her out. Well, Weepin' Nellie tries harder. Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. Kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors. She picked a good spot for a break, cause the core is right there. Then the kid hears an unusual sound, like 100 flapping wings. Peckers. Watching his every move. They had their own eyes on the core. But why? Well, kid ain't got time to think it over just yet. He finds Weepin' Nellie raring to go. Turns out she's got a special surprise for when the waters get rough. She's gonna need a little help with all them peckers. Crafty things think they're king of the roost now. The rest of us only wish we could fly in times like these. Security skiffs keep on coming starboard side. Don't seem to care what they shoot as long as they hit something. Windbags getting even better out here. They aim to smash Weepin' Nellie splitters. Well, it all proves too much for poor Nellie. She's just gotta make one last stop. With her last breath, Nellie gets the kid to solid ground. Solid ground in Pecker country. They want that core real bad. Kid shoes them off, knowing they'll be back. Know how many times kid nearly fell off the bar to back down? A good couple of times. Now, listen close. You should remember this next part. Why go to Prosper Bluff? Used to take an enterprising man or a plain old fool to venture out that far. The city was the most beautiful place in the world. We all knew that. But on the other hand, some folks just yearn to see the things they're told they can't. And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't it? There the kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while. How's it go again? That's the one. Timeless.
I dig my hole, you build a wall. One day that wall is gonna fall. Don't do
Well, no point explaining what happens next, right? Suffice it to say, kid ain't coming home empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes. They'll be here before too long. We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow Ura again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people. But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find. Kid's surprised when I tell him there's only one core left. I shouldn't have believed it either. Most of the Ura never got a taste of Ceylondia's fine goods, unless they were born and raised in the city like Zia here. Sure, the world's all gone to pieces farther than the eye can see, but leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view. Girl tried to run away from home one time, but the marshals stopped that, didn't they? So many secrets in there and she can't even read it. Her father's own journal. Go on, open it, she says. The worst that can happen already did, right?
Why am I here? Chromatic data overflow.
A scientific journal written in Zolf's native tongue. He learned so much from it. Too much. If only I'd known half the secrets of the Calamity were tucked away in that book, I'd have worked to translate it right away. The lost and found. Here, kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again. We track the final core beyond the city to the wilds. The wild unknown. Place can eat a man alive. Place is so raw, even the calamity couldn't cook it. Not all of it. What's better than having to sling a pistol in a fight? Having two. Savage things lurking at every turn. Pincushions ain't the worst of it either. Pecker's got the core. Like they're building a bastion of their own. The welcoming committee scrambles to attention. Didn't expect the kid so soon. They shouldn't have let their guard down. Getting that core was one thing. Getting out's gonna be another. He digs his way out of the clearing. But the wilds won't let him go without a fight. Wallflowers survive the calamity. Same goes for the kid. Slinger Johnson's old outpost is all that's left of him. Don't ever turn your back on the pincushion. Handful of windbag shipments made it out this far. Kid's seen the last of them. Kid's roused up half the wilds by now. Johnson's boys left all kinds of stuff out here. Then Kid gets the feeling he's being watched. Not by me, but by a lunkhead. And lunkheads ain't fond of two-legged animals. Hit him anywhere but the hindquarters can only make him mad. The calamity must have scrambled their eggs. Wild green pineapple's about the only good thing out here. He's anxious to get back. The wild's already reclaimed this place. After all, he's got the final core. His journey's over, right? Well, no, it ain't. Not by a long shot. Kid knows something's up when we ain't there to give a warm welcome. See, Zolf and I were just wrapping up a heated discussion. Zolf can barely muster the words. The calamity failed, he says, but I will not. And with that, Zolf leaves us here, alone. He ain't all that shy. Zolf cursed the city, cursed the Bastion, cursed me, said he was going home. When Zolf got through reading that journal, he just snapped, started smashing up the monument till I tried to stop him. Zolf banged up the monument pretty bad. But there's a way to put it back together. The shards. We're gonna need all of them to nurse the Bastion back to health. The city brought the shards to the wilds. Now the kid's gonna bring them back. After Zolf's little episode, Kid sets off in search of shards. First stop, Jawson Bog. You'll get lost in that bog, I told the kid, and I won't be able to guide you back. Well, I let him go. What else could I do? What could any of us do? Zolf put us in a real bind. Hurt the Bastion bad. But the shards can make it better. They're like smaller doses of the core's medicine. Shame the only place to fill that prescription is out here in the wilds. This place is intoxicating. Don't know where he's gone. Might be gone for good for all I know. Wherever he is, it's somewhere I've never been. Somewhere I never want to go. Kid can't fall, no matter how hard he tries. There and welcome him with open arms. Kid pops him good. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a lonesome ghost of a gas fella. I'm Zolf, a Libra. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Now the kid sees something stranger still. Sure enough, he finds peckers, lunkheads, wallflowers, pincushions, pineapples, swamp weeds, ankle gators. Now the Bastion can send me no farther into the wild unknown. Kid sets foot inside one of Ceylondia's famous watering holes. He has the nerve to flash the shield he stole. He's a petty thief. The security's just succeeds where the calamity failed. Would you look at what he did to poor old Ronnie the bartender? Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. It's so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world's alright, snoozing there on a rock in the sky. He wakes up. I'm just fooling. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. He sees what's left of Pith, the bull. The gods, they're all undone. He sees what's left of his lifelong friend. His friend, he's come undone too. He sees what's left undone. Near lost my train of thought just thinking about that place. The shard ain't lost either. Not anymore. Now to find a ticket out of this hole. Bootlickers dig their nasty thorns into his heels. Ever heard of a lung blossom? It's bigger than the stories say. The breath on that thing, like a scumbag sprung a leak. They say one whiff of lung blossom can make you lose your mind. Mother only knows what happened in the bog. Kid never much cared to speak of it. A shard is like a poor man's core, but beggars can't be choosers. That's it. A few more shards like that, and we'll be back in business. A single shard can breathe new life into this place. The shard's got enough juice to spruce up any of these places. Never could ask for a song.
I see a thing.
Turn 'em round and round all you like. Pit's still gonna be ugly. The city tried to use the shards to stake out the wilds. So much for that plan. Ankle gators used to roam the wilds, and they nested at Rothes Lagoon. Many a tale folks used to scare their children straight originated here. All kinds of beasts we don't know up and down are still lurking about. Only the city's brushers knew their way around the lagoon. They moved quick and quiet. These beasts, they don't like company. Even the brushers learned to fear this place. They used to think that ankle gators were extinct. Well, they ain't. One of them's been living in the tall grass. They called her Queen Anne. Turns out Queen Anne got a hold of a shard. Ankle gators love shiny things. Know what smells worse than an ankle gator's breath? The stinkweed. Can't fight Queen Anne without a rotten tooth. Bad idea to walk in gator grass. Most of those peckers are smart enough to stay out of Queen Anne's way. Brushers use their pikes to keep their distance around here. Now the kid can do the same. Sharp sticks make Queen Anne nervous, so she backs off a bit. Kid's got a mean throwing arm. Those pincushions have been living off the ankle gator scraps. Queen Anne can't fit down some of these narrow paths. Queenie leads the kid into some kind of twisted trap. He holds his ground. Seems the Queen's running out of options. One bad step in that tall grass and he's Queen Anne's lunch. Still no sign of the shard. Well, the Brusher's way ain't really his style. The closer you get to an ankle gator's lair, the thicker the tall grass grows. The kid's gotta make a run for it. Those leaping lunkheads don't like Queen Anne any better than the kid. That old gator's right on his tail. Must have scared a bunch of peggers out of hiding. Seems even stinkweeds know to stay away from the Queen. Gators don't much care for their young. That's why there ain't many around. Wanna know how to find an ankle gator lair? You use a kid as bait. The shard's sitting in plain view. Now she's coming for him. She's got nowhere else to go. They say if you run across an ankle gator, you better keep running. And now he's made her mad. kid's done what needed to be done. Queen Anne's reign is over. We even got a crown jewel. All that trouble for a single shard. But you know what? It was worth it. That Gator's a crazy gal, but so is the gal who promised to look after her. They said Queen Anne was just a folktale. Now there's living proof she ain't. The arsenal's complete in case we need protection. The next shard should be farther out there in the wilds. Know how Caelandia became the richest city in the world? 2 words. Point Lemaine. If the wilds could ever be tamed, it's gonna happen right here. But now, the greatest outpost past the city line is nothing but a freak show. The army's triggers once had the place on lockdown. Kid might as well pick up where they left off. Blam! Just like my fighting days. A gun like that can even put the wilds in check. Point Lemaine seen better days for sure, but it ain't done. Whole place shudders in a fit. The grand rail of Point Lemaine. Not only is it still there, it still works. Of course, it's no longer shipping hides and alloys and spices, but it can give the kid a lift. Just as long as he can stay clear of the trouble on the tracks. Rails all grown over with things of calamity chewed up and spat out. Things eager to take back their turf. Kid don't let so much as one of those things slip by. Heads settled in like they own the place. Takes fancy footwork on the rail, with wallflowers and coughing fungus everywhere. place used to be closed off, but now it's split open like a rotten pineapple. Of course, the Grand Rails seem much more fighting in bygone times. The Ura-Ceylondian War, 50 years ago, doomed to happen again. It was right here that Zolf's Ura forefathers decided to mix it up. Okay, so maybe we didn't get their sign-off on the whole Grand Rail thing. That was bad. The rail must have shook the Ura to the bone down in those dens of theirs. Well, the rail won't last much longer now that the kid took the shard. It's still got one good run in store. All the rotten wood there on the rail turned it into swamp weed central. Ever tried dancing side to side while holding your breath? While choking on swamp weed. The heck was trying to prick you in the eye. Well, let me tell you, it ain't fun. Picking swamp weed out of those boots for days. Turns out he's got company up at the rail station waiting for him. Not just another wallflower or pincushion, mind you. At first he thinks it's Zolf. Turns out he's wrong. This is for you, says the man. Then wham! When the kid comes to, the man's long gone, but something else is there. The only words the kid recognizes on that parchment are for Zia. What's a kid to do? He took the shard, he took the hit, and he took that note. That note cuts straight to the heart of things, don't it? Finding gourmet ingredients ain't easy these days, but we'll take what we can get. The note says it plain. Zia, go east to learn the truth about the calamity and our people. I'll be waiting. Sincerely, Zolf. Zolf's messenger was one of his people. Wonder just how many of them survived. and what exactly Zolf told him. It ain't too late to unlock the potential of this place. Just the occasion to crack open the distillery's private reserve. Graver gimlet tastes different the longer you swish it around. Miraculous stuff. The shards are getting harder to find. Not everything blew up in the calamity. Why, Colford Cauldron here blew up way ahead of its time. The cauldron boiled over some 300 years ago. They say it filled the skies with ash and the lakes with molten rock. If you wanted to survive something like that, you had to learn to adapt. So in a way, the beasts of the wilds, they're all survivors too. It takes a certain stubborn pride to keep on living in a place like this. As for us, we learned an awful lot from Colford Cauldron. Sure, we dusted off a good many secrets out here. But we discovered other things we're better off not knowing. The unforgiving scent of sulfurous dirt. The taste of air so hot it sticks to your lungs. All sorts of awful things crawling underfoot. thought we'd find so much life in all that ash. The more ash we swept aside, the more life we found. The place is inhospitable as they come. But still we pressed on. We kept on sifting through the cauldron's secrets anyway. After all, when we look down inside Culford Cauldron, look down through all the smoke and flames, we saw in there the heart of the world, the heart now laid bare by the calamity. We had to have it. As for the kid, he just has to get that shard out of there. Too bad taking that thing woke up every last stink eye from here to Johnson Bog. Kid's thinking he's got to trek all the way back around the cauldron. Luckily, the cauldron cooked up a little shortcut for him. Sure, it ain't the most convenient to have. Biggest stink eye he's ever seen's waiting for him on the other side. Pops open on him like a pimple on a school day. Where there's one stink eye, there's always more. Cauldron's tenants all gather up to bid the kid up on farewell. The kid don't shed any tears for him. With a good spyglass, you can still see the cauldron from the city. But all the fires died out. There's nothing left of it. He comes back looking like the inside of a chimney. We're all a little short on friends these days, so that's a welcome sight. They said the wild could never be tamed. If only they could see us now. The shard works like a charm. You can hear the monument's heartbeat again. A still life of old unwanted keepsakes. Kid arrives just in time to sample Zia's famous cooking. Been meaning to put up some guardrails. Don't get her too excited now. No telling what she'll do. Big lost and found under the circumstances. He wolfs down too much too fast, and it all goes to his head. I've said a lot about the kid, but he ain't the only one wrapped up in all this. What's he thinking? Let me see if I got this straight. I only heard it once. Once there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tassel terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Ceylondia. Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Ura refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out. The mama passed away from birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father. Father was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him. Her father told her nothing of her Ura heritage. He told her nothing of the mancers. It's for your own good, he said. She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books. gained a knack for strings and songs. At first, she tried to be like other girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader, selling out the city. One young man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him. The young man convinced her to take him to her family den to meet her father. Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals. When the young man greeted her father in the Ura's native language, her father flew into a fit of rage and threw them out. The young man never told her that the Ura's native language is not to be used by foreigners. To do so is a terrible insult. It was then that she decided to escape. The two of them could flee the city together and go to the Tassel terminals. They would hide inside a garbage bin until it got ingested by a scumbag, then let him slosh on out of the city for disposal. Succeeded, but the authorities were already there when that scumbag sidled up to the city walls. The young man had sent the authorities a tip, told him her father was using her to sell secrets to the Tassel terminals. She and her father were arrested for treason, but her father got a deal. Returned to work for the Mansers, and she'd go free. Before they parted ways for the last time, her father whispered a desperate plea. Hurry home to the den and lock yourself in. She did as she was told, and deep down underground inside that den, she found a journal written in her father's hand. The next day, the door to the den turned to ash. The girl came up for air, and she saw the calamity all around her. When the kid wakes up, his world's still in pieces, just the way he left it. spotted a pecker carrying a shard to Mount Zan. Can't rightly call Mount Zan a mountain anymore. There's no more mountains now. There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go. So they figure they'll hold out right here, on a slab of mountain the Calamity forgot. Those beasts been hoarding all the valuables they could find. We only found that little layer because they found themselves a little shard. Good thing for those beasts the Calamity saved leftovers. It's a delicate situation. The creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own. Children into this. Without a doubt, the situation stinks. Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean. Besides, we have to take back what's ours. What the city left behind, those beasts took for themselves. It's either them or us. But if we win, they win too. Our Bastion is everybody's game, not just ours. Unfortunately, there's no explaining that to a simple beast. Those beasts been hard at work fixing up the place. They've rounded up their survivors, just like we have. They've been searching for cores and shards, just like we have. Maybe they've thought about turning back, just like we have. We just really need their shard. Kid got it fair and square. That's the way. He's done what's best for him, don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll all be better off once the Bastion is complete. The monument's getting better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though. Ain't saying much, but that's the greatest forge in all the city. Fixed that thing right up, didn't we? Made these goings-on a little livelier. Suppose it's true a little song can put things in perspective. Just a couple shards left. The quarry's gotta have one, right? Imagine everything you'd need to build a city like Zealandia. It takes hard work and planning, and it also takes Bastion quarry. The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. Same goes for its natives. Rattletails ain't the worst of it either, but more about that in a little bit. The quarry came with a lifetime supply of windbags. Windbags smaller than the naked eye can see are nesting in those rocks. But there's even more to it than that. Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found out the oldest ones remember things. They're recording everything, all the time, taking it all in. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Keeping the quarry free from pests turned out to be a problem. Rattletails kept tunneling in to snack on windbags. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. Why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? Even stink eyes started taking root in here. The Ura always were a superstitious lot. Might be the gods told him the quarry's bad news. In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend. Those rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen. The largest ones we know as cores. Single core could keep the lights on in an entire city district. The smaller ones, we call them shards. The shards got a fraction of a core's power, enough to fuel a voyage to the motherland. Well, now the quarry's all dried up. These rocks are much too young to be of use. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? That honor goes to a beast we took to Colin, Sir Lunky. Massive thing stomped many of our boys. We just couldn't get rid of him. The only thing harder than the rocks in Bastion quarry is Sir Lunky's head. Never could get stubborn old Lunky to leave the quarry alone. Then the kid hears a voice calling from down the hall. It's him. Are you all right? It says. The Bastion is under siege. Let it fall. You should not go back. Kid hears him, but he ain't about to be deterred. If that's the way it is, he says, then I won't stop you. Because my countrymen will. The next part's hard to talk about, no matter how many times I try. Say what you will about Zulf, but he's a man of his word. His countrymen don't much care for pleasantries, though. Zulf showed him the way here, and here they came to take revenge. They got inside the Bastion and shut the door. Kid's gotta go in through the back. Should have seen this coming. Felt it in my bones. Unfortunately, they broke in, and they started digging their hole. Something wrong was wrong down those holes, and it's eating away this place. We tried to stop it, but we needed help. Somehow, some way, he sends those Ura packing. Problem is, it didn't matter. Zulf's plan worked. We find each other as the dust settles. Then I tell him why the Ura came. To get us back for the calamity. It was Ceylandia's master plan to wipe the Ura out. But part of that plan backfired, didn't it? If only Zulf knew the whole story. The shards can put this disease in remission, but there's only one cure. We need to finish what we started. What were we to think? They must have got her, taken her back to her rightful home. The cinders kept the city good and warm, made it thrive. Seems the gods recommended this place to all their friends. Now all we need is one last shard. The sanctuary. If we can build, we can rebuild. The Ura swooped down from the east. At least now we know the way. One last shard. It's all we need to put this mess behind us. And mother, what a mess it is. A mess like that could have only been made by hand. Zolf said the calamity failed, and he's right. The Ura stand as living proof of that. At the heart of the calamity was a simple idea. We never wanted to go to war again. We wanted to rule it out. Put a lot of folks against that problem. Scientists, soldiers, spies, even me. We sought solutions far beyond the city. We traveled near as far as the kid's going right now. Most of our efforts didn't bear fruit. came from an Ura, a brilliant young scientist named Ven. Ven worked for the Mancers, the sharpest knives in the city's drawer. With his help, the Mancers devised a way to seal the Ura tunnels shut in a flash. Just like that, every last Ura living in the Tassel terminal would be gone. This discovery was never to be used, they said, except as a last resort. But Ven didn't like being manipulated. He had plans of his own. He sabotaged the Mancers' little science project, set it to blow up in their faces. Imagine how Ven must have felt when they finally made him pull that trigger. But remember, the Bastion can fix everything. We just need that shard. We're lucky to be alive. Too bad the Ura ain't exactly been willing to collaborate on that front. It's strange. Feels like I told this part 1,000 times. First things first, though. There's someone we figured needed rescuing. See ya. The Ura fell back, no doubt planning the next move, but we knew ours already. There's something we had to do before going after that last shard. Well, now it's personal, ain't it? It's personal for him, and it's personal for me. The Calamity did something wrong with some of them rocks. He gets his hands on the care package I sent him. They got their own security and everything. Pretty fancy. They've got these conductors that are all what's keeping the place together. Enough of those things and the calamity rocks slink back into the ground. Those rocks are like tumors, the same kind the Ura planted in Bastion. Well, the Ura must be in a panic right about now. They even sick their little rattletail pets on the kid. Those rodents are just a bump in the road. Kids picking the whole place apart. By now, every Ura from here to the terminals must know he's in town. Kid returns their greeting tenfold. They're easy targets. Those calamity rocks must be eating that place apart from the inside. The Ura keep hanging on to their barricade. After all, their homeland's not much farther. Some of them are downright bewildered by what's happening. Maybe they know they've lost this. Lost to a kid. us how people caused the calamity, but here we are trying to fix it. That makes us different from our people now, don't it? Shame the opportunity for civilized discourse is over. Suppose old Zolf should have got to know us better. Maybe I should have trusted him. Told him everything I knew. As the hour grows desperate, they're bringing out their big guns. Too bad for them. Our guns are bigger still. Zolf, the Ura, they have every reason to be angry. Beyond angry. But when this is all over, it'll all be water under the bridge. There's nothing standing in his way no more. He sees the Tazzle terminals loom large on the horizon. Way out there on the edge of the world, that's where he finally finds you. But it ain't like Prosper Bluff this time. Ain't nothing for this gal to sing about now. Zia, you weren't kidnapped. No, ma'am. You just had to see what happened to the Ura. To your own people. You had to see if everything Zolf wrote to you was true. Sure you didn't drop that twangy thing on purpose? Just to see if he'd go after you? They lost everything, didn't they? But they just keep on fighting like that's gonna bring it all back. I don't need to see what happened to the Ura. I'm trying to undo it, remember? Once the kid gets that last shard from Zolf, it'll all be over. I can't hear him at all anymore. He's too far away. But he'll be all right. Just needs to get that shard from Zolf and come on home. The calamity hit the Tazzle terminals hardest of all. You know why Zolf went back there. The place was his home. All his old friends and family were there. Taken by the calamity. gulf must be there all alone, just waiting. You know what's funny? Zolf's waiting. We're waiting. All of us are waiting for a kid. There's not much left to do here, Bastion. But Zia, there's another reason I've been telling you all this. So why not tell each other stories to pass the time, right? There's something I want you to understand. Kid brings back that shard, the Bastion will be complete. What happens to Zolf no longer matter. Zealandia will be whole again. Everything will be back to normal. Everyone will be all right. Problem is, we'll all be gone. But we're not gonna die. It's more like all of this will just stop. Things will go back to the way they used to be. That's the power of the Bastion. This whole place is a living record of the times before the calamity, the way things were before this story. Good times, right? You'll be your old self again. Think of all those times that didn't go your way. ever done, you could do it over. And wouldn't that be grand? Well, I guess there's nothing more to say.
Från Vika.
Who am I kidding? Look, there's something else. A confession. How come I know so much about the Bastion? Well, I designed the place, but that's beside the point. There's one problem with a place that sets things back to a bygone time. You can't test it. So you're probably wondering if the calamity happened already. What's to stop it from happening again after the Bastion does its thing? The answer is, I don't know. You're wondering if there ain't some other way out of this mess. It's all right. I can tell. But why would you want another way? Unless you wanted to stay here with us. Well, that's sweet and all, but I don't know if I can stick around. The weight of the calamity. It's on our shoulders. Can't just let it go. Bastion does have another function, strictly speaking. If ever the monument blew out, we couldn't repair it. We could still evacuate. First, we'd round up as many folks as we could carry. Next, detonate the cores, and we take off. Away from here. Heavy, ain't it? You know Zolf and his countrymen won't be giving up that shard without a fight, don't you? Zolf and the Ura, all they want now is to see the Bastion fall. Zolf dedicated his life to lasting peace between the Ura and Zealandia. He can't have imagined the city would try to wipe the Ura out. Zolf ain't lost every shred of decency though, has he? He tried to warn you about his plans. He tried to warn the kid. For Zolf, this ain't a personal matter. It ain't a simple matter of pride either. One thing's for sure. The Ura can't be happy that the kid followed Zolf all the way home. I can see it now. The kid in one corner, then Zolf in the other. Ain't much of a fight. Don't you worry, though. Once the Bastion's restored, it'll all be alright. Although, after talking it over like this, guess I'm beginning to have my doubts.
see your star. You left it burning for me. Mother, I'm here. Eyes open wide.
Kid's probably dealt with Zolf by now. He reminds me of myself when I was his age. I ever tell you about those days? Hey, kid. Get up, kid. Come on, that ain't funny. I said get up. That's more like it. Now, set that shard into the monument there. Then we'll talk. The Bastion. It's finally finished. Now, there's something I want you to see. Welcome to the heart of the Bastion. I ain't one for long goodbyes, so here's the deal. Zia and I figure you done the heavy lifting, so you get to do the honors. We can tell you how to work this thing if you got any questions.
You made it. So, let's see. You can either prevent the calamity, or stick around with me and Rex. I'd hate to be in your shoes. If I could be any place I wanted, I'd stay right here. We could go anywhere in the world. Zolf tried to talk me into joining him. I tried to talk him out of it. I guess we both failed. When I finally found my people, I told them we could help. They just took me for a traitor. Glad you showed up. Any moment I'd want to live again happened after the calamity, not before.
Good to see you. You can undo the calamity here and now. Go on, kid. And before I forget, thank you. Always wondered what the motherland was like. Not that it matters anymore. Zolf only brought more ruin to the Ura. No wonder they didn't take kindly to him. You've got one thing left to do, so you hang on to that badge. Besides, you earned it. Don't let anything you've done get to you. You can save all those creatures here and now. It's finished. Now, sit tight. It'll be over soon. No matter what happens next, you're done good. I suppose all that's left is to try and remember this moment. The Bastion's gonna take us back to a better time. Before any of this, my people will forget everything you've done, and each other. Though after all we've been through, I find that hard to believe. So long, kid. Maybe I'll see it in the next one. Celandia, we're coming home.